Hey, what's up, you guys? Let's talk about Collision. Oh, before I talk about that, how cute is this shirt? MJF with his cute cat Piper is so cute. Now, I got this shirt a while ago, and trust me, all I care about these days is your item has been shipped, your item has been delivered. And speaking of delivering, Collision was really good. First things first, we have Samoa Joe making his way to the ring. I love his theme song. It is so badass and it just works with him so perfectly. Now, his opponent is already in the ring. His opponent is the Golden Vampire, and Joe doesn't even really make it all the way in front of the ring before the Golden Vampire decides he's going to go and take care of business. Now, he's already punching on Samoa Joe, and Joe hasn't even taken that title off his shoulder yet. And here comes the referee who is trying to break it up, but the Golden Vampire ends up pushing the referee onto the ground, and I'm just like, whoa, someone just don't mind getting fined today. Now, Samoa Joe and his opponent make it back into the ring, and he's still beating up on him, but this time he has Joe in the corner of the ring, and then that's when the Golden Vampire does a running knee strike, and I'm just like, holy shit, that's CM Punk. I had no idea that it was Punk at all because he has this whole golden getup looking like a Los Conquistador, and he just looks like really awkward with a mask and everything. So I never thought that I was CM Punk at all. So then once I seen that, I was like, that gotta be Punk. And then he ends up lifting up Joe, putting him on his shoulder, and then that's when I was like, all right, GTS coming on, and he actually hits the GTS. Now, the GTS was not perfect, so maybe some people are probably complaining about how it wasn't perfect or whatever, and probably somewhere in this world, Kenta is just looking at that shit and laughing, and once he does that, it's apparent that it is CM Punk for at least everybody at this point. Now, at that point, CM Punk does take off the mask, and we do see that it is him, and he gets on the mic and he says that he accepts, bitch. And I'm just like, you know what? I like how they started off the show. Really great vibes. First of all, I have to say, whoever the Collision team, whatever it is going on over there, you can tell is a different set of people compared to Dynamite, compared to Rampage. It's just a whole different vibe. And if you don't want to watch Dynamite or Rampage, you will definitely find enjoyment with Collision, because I just feel like there's just like different people working on that shit, and it's just so much better. It already started off feeling better than what we got with Dynamite the other day, and by the time the end of the episode, for sure, it was way better than Dynamite. Let's talk about the rest of the show. So now we have our first match of the night. We do have Dalton Castle versus Jay White, and we have Kevin Kelly, who is back on commentary. So no more Ian and Nigel. It's Nigel and Kevin. Kevin has been in Japan covering the G1 Climax, so he's back now. And to be honest, I actually already miss Ian, and I actually liked when Nigel was on commentary with Ian and Caprice on ROH. And a girl can't get everything that she wants, but either way, they're still great on commentary. And our first match was a fun match. We get to see a lot of personality with Bullet Club Gold, and I feel like once again, the guns are exactly where they need to be, and I feel like by the time they're doing their own thing aside from Bullet Club Gold, they will definitely have made a name for themselves. So they're definitely a good fit with Jay and Juice. Now, with this match, we do have the typical Dalton Castle being so eccentric, and we got the boys ringside that are just standing there looking cute, and the crowd love it. And I was saying this the other day on my ROH review that Dalton Castle is one of those people who don't need to just be on ROH. He has the fan base, he has a personality and everything going for him to be featured on AEW TV too. So I'm really glad that he came. I think this is his very first time on Collision, I want to say. So he ends up having a really great match with Jay. Now, at any time, I did not feel like Dalton was going to take the win. Based off the storyline that's going on with the Elite and Bullet Club Gold, you know that Jade needs this win compared to Dalton. And ultimately, he does take the win. But Dalton gives him a really good fight. I'll give him that. And then we did have Bullet Club Gold members and also the boys getting into little scuffles here and there ringside, but it wasn't a huge distraction. Now, after this match, they are going to go on the mic. They have a few words to say for the Elite for their match coming up. They're bragging about putting Kenny Omega in the hospital, and Tony Schiavone is supposed to be asking them questions, but each of the members are taking turns on the mic, and they keep taking his hand and forming a gun with it. And Schiavone looks like he's having a horrible time, and I am cracking up. I really love the fact that they're bringing a lot of personality, and, you know, they're definitely getting a good laugh at the expense of Tony Schiavone. Now, Juice Robinson and the Guns, they're bored and they want a match too. So they're like, Tony Khan, get a trio out here so we can have a match. They end up having a match with the Iron Savages and Jack Jameson. Now, the Iron Savages, I've been saying really great things about them with ROH. They have absolutely improved and they're doing a great job. They were on Collision last week. They brought them back on Collision this week, and they have a really great match with Bullet Club Gold. And I was afraid it was going to be a squash match, but fortunately it wasn't. I do think that people are noticing, at least backstage, that the Iron Savages have improved. And I think we're going to be seeing them a lot more often. And they end up having a really great match with Bullet Club Gold, but they don't take the win. But I'm really excited to see them. So I do hope that we get bigger and bigger, better things with them in the future. Like I said, Bullet Club Gold needs the win compared to Iron Savages because of the storyline with the Elite or whatnot. I'm looking forward to that match at the pay-per-view, but everyone so far has done a great job, and I'm really entertained, even with the matches. Collision is just so different, guys. If you didn't see it, go check it out. It's a great vibe. So next we have a video from House of Black. They are somewhere where there's like an incinerator or something. I don't know. Anyway, they're throwing away Billy Gunn's boots and essentially having some type of memorial service for Billy. And I do feel like at some point we're going to get Billy back. If anything, maybe at All Out. I just feel like we're not going to get any other matches on the main card for All In, because it would seem really rushed if that was the case. So that's probably what's going to end up happening. We might see the Acclaimed with Billy Gunn at All Out. And to be honest, I don't want to see them for the third time. Moving on. Next we have, but the promo was good though. Next we have LFI situation, which I was so glad to see. Jose, the assistant, he's on the couch. He gets a phone call, and it's Roosh. Roosh is like, what the fuck is happening with LFI? And he's like, you know, get everyone together to come to Mexico. So Preston and Drilistico, they come to Mexico. They're at a bar. They're having a good time, when really they're supposed to be getting together to get the group going and back in business. So they have a great time. And after they come out the club, they all drunk or whatever, could barely form a sentence. And here comes Jose standing outside with the phone in his hand. And a van pulls up and snatches them up, put like a black bag over their faces, and take them into the van. And then it says to be continued. We'll see what happened with that. This past weekend, we did have LFI in Mexico for the AAA event or whatever. So Triple Mania event. So I don't know what was going on there. I did read the spoilers about who won and stuff like that. But I guess AEW was there as well filming with LFI. So I'm interested to see what's going on with them, because I've been saying for the longest, like, where is LFI, especially with the whole Andrade situation? I'd rather see Andrade, you know, have an issue with House of Black all over again, or they continue that and then have LFI come in that. I would rather see that than House of Black in a situation with, you know, Billy Gunn and them. It would be more entertaining. So up next, we have Ricky Starks. He has an interview with Tony Schiavone backstage, and he ends up saying, "Hey, I'm bringing chaos to AEW, even though he can't get in the ring." And then that's when the camera moves, and it's Big Bill looking tall and handsome. I can dig it. Now they have a video of Ricky Starks, and he's like modeling and wearing all these different outfits and talking about how he's absolute and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, this man is gorgeous. But the video should have been on before the interview. I think it would have made more sense. So right after that, Big Bill and Ricky Starks, they make their way to the ring. The opponent's already in there. His name is Derek Neal. And this was a squash match, which I was afraid of. I don't really like squash matches at all, but I feel like with Collision, they should stray away from doing that, especially since it's new and fresh. So I was kind of disappointed that it was going to be a squash match or whatever. Big Bill obviously wins in like 2, maybe 3 minutes tops. And after that match, here is Ricky Starks with a belt beating Derek with it. And I'm just like, wow, that is absolutely insane. I don't know what the relationship is going to be like with Big Bill and Ricky, but Ricky actually have 2 more weeks before he can get back into the ring. So it's not something that's going to last long. And I wonder if it's going to be something impactful. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. So next we have a promo with Darby Allin and Nick Wayne. They pulled up at AR Fox School. Now, the whole footage was literally like a couple of seconds, which was disappointing to me because when Swerve and AR Fox had pulled up at Nick's garage, that was, a couple of minutes of a beatdown or whatever. So I could appreciate that. But the clip that they showed at AR Fox School was pretty short. I wish we would have got something more lengthy with that. Anyway, they're talking about how they're going to have a match on Dynamite. The match we're having on Dynamite is Swerve and Fox versus Darby and Nick. And I'm like, whoa, why? That is like super close to the match that you're going to have at All In. Take out Nick Wayne and just put in Sting, and it's the same damn thing. Obviously, Nick Wayne is not going to offer the same thing like Sting, but it makes me wonder, like, why would you have a match so similar to the match you're going to have a few days later at your big pay-per-view? I personally would not have booked it this way. Maybe one-on-one with each of the guys instead, rather than it being a tag team. Either way, things seems interesting with the storyline. Up next, we have Willow versus Diamante. They actually have a really great match, and I like their chemistry together. And I'm really happy that we're seeing Diamante and Mercedes on TV. These are girls that I always really liked. And once they were in AEW, I've been feeling like, where are they? We have not really gotten a chance to see much of them almost at all. So now they're finally getting an opportunity to make their way in the women's division. And it feels great to see different girls compared to the ones that we always see. Now, while I do feel like they had great chemistry, we did have Mercedes coming out and she's ringside. And I'm just hoping she doesn't get involved, because sometimes when someone else gets involved, that just takes away from the actual match. And I was actually enjoying Willow and Diamante. Now, she does, she's ringside, but she doesn't get involved physically. And then Willow ends up taking the win. And her and Diamante and Mercedes, they go and attack Willow. And here comes Chris Statlander. She is so boring. Anyway, she comes to help Willow, whatnot. And, the two girls end up separating. And I'm wondering, where are we going with this storyline? Are we going to see something at All In with Chris Statlander, with any of these girls? It doesn't seem likely. If we see something, maybe at All Out. I'm just not sure where they're going. I like the exchanges that they're having on the show, but from right here, we don't really see what the payoff is going to be with this storyline, especially with there being a champion involved in this. I'm just wondering which one of these girls is going to end up getting a title shot. I kind of thought that maybe we'll get another Fatal 4-Way match with the girls for the TBS championship, but I'm not sure if AEW is going that direction. Now, up next, we do have Toni Storm. She's backstage with Lexi, and Lexi's giving her an interview. And Tony's like, you must be new here. I've never seen you here before. The last girl that interviewed me, she was so rude. And the last girl that interviewed her was Lexi. Now, Lexi is asking her questions about her match at All In. And Tony's like, you know what? I'm not even worried about Hikaru Shida or Britt Baker. They might not even make it to All In. And Lexi was like, so what about your relationship with Saraya? Will things change with both of you guys being in this match? And she's like, she's not worried about her relationship with Saraya. Her and Saraya are good. They're both going after the same thing. But at the end of the day, she's going to end up being the first 3-time women's champion. And, you know, I really like how Toni she's being whiny and shit like that, but it's entertaining. So I like it. She has a cool accent and it's cool and whatnot. But I wonder if they will just give it to Saraya, being that she's going to be in London, she's going to be in her home country. It would be a feel-good story to come full circle where she literally did not know she'll ever get in the ring ever again. And now here she is back at home and she have an opportunity to win the title. That would be absolutely insane if that would happen. But either way, I'm looking forward to that match. And I like this whole new Toni Storm thing. It's pretty funny. Up next, we have Powerhouse Hobbs in a squash match versus Kevin Koo. Now, this was a squash match, but it wasn't bad. So I still think he looked good in this. After this match, he does end up snatching up Kevin and putting him in a game over. And that's when we have Miro appearing in the big screen. And Miro is like, long story short, I'm godless, but I'm going to be the one you pray to. I'm going to see you at All Out. And I was like, yes, 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 All In. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. All Out the next week. I'm just like, why are these pay-per-views so freaking close? It's just so ridiculous. At this point, it almost doesn't feel like we have a full card with All In. So when he said All Out, it kind of took me by surprise. So yeah, so we'll be seeing that the following week. And really, I'm looking forward and seeing that because I just know we're going to get a really great match with Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs. Both these guys really have a lot to prove to the fans. Yes, we know they're talented, but they have not been able to have really great runs in AEW. Well, let me take that back. Miro did have a really great run with the TNT title, but he has been gone for like a whole year or something like that. So they both have a lot to prove in the ring. And I want to see a nice 15+ minute match with these guys at All Out. So I'm hoping for the best with that. Let's talk about the main event. Main event time, we have Darby Allin versus Christian, our TNT champion. Now, he actually does make his way to the ring with the TNT title on his waist. Luchasaurus is walking next to him, and I am just like, wow, this is how you get shit done as a heel. Now, they have a really great match. And one thing that I've noticed with Collision is on Collision, their main events have been, well, I want to say maybe all have been 20+ minutes. And I love that. I have been complaining about those little 10-minute main events we've been getting on Dynamite and stuff like that. That's nothing. I really see the difference with these main events on Collision. The longer, the better. It makes it feel like something important versus some 10-minute shit that is just not even memorable. Now, Christian lets everyone know that he still got it in the ring, and he has really great chemistry with Darby Allin. And I really like these two together in the ring. It was really entertaining. We had Luchasaurus, who is ringside, and I don't remember him ever physically getting involved during the match. But throughout this match, you can really see that had Christian really be the TNT champion, he would actually deserve to be champion because he's really delivering something that I enjoy in the ring. Now, no hate towards anyone else who's been TNT champ, but these last few runs we haven't gotten a chance to see anything really meaningful from anyone. So now here is Christian, who's pretending to be the champion, but delivering like a champion. And I absolutely love that. Now, I was disappointed to see Darby Allin take the win. It's just like, I love Darby, I really do. But I feel like they make him seem so invincible regardless with who he's in the ring with, whether it's someone his size or someone 4 times his size. It just seems like Darby Allin's always going to just make it on top. So it usually feels predictable when he's in the ring. Now, Darby takes the win, and he's in the ring and he could barely freaking breathe, and he got blood in his mouth. And here's Tony Schiavone coming with a microphone for an interview. And I'm like, bro, let him breathe for a second before you start asking questions. Now, once, I don't remember what Tony had asked him, but then here's Luchasaurus standing in front of the ring, staring down Darby. Darby is looking at him because he feels like, he's probably going to attack him. And then here comes Christian from behind with a TNT championship, and he hits him in the back. And then Luchasaurus comes in the ring and gives him a really big choke slam. And that's when Christian gets on top and pins Darby. And then they make Tony Schiavone count to 3 and announce Christian as the winner. Schiavone looked horrified, okay? And I absolutely loved it. First of all, man, I'm telling you, Collision is just so much fun. If you're not convinced with my reviews, then I don't know who can convince you. Just check out one of these episodes. It's really, really great. I like what they're doing here. I really do wish that there was a little bit more of a clear direction with both of these pay-per-views. The build for both of them has been really lackluster. I still feel like regardless, we're going to get a great show. But either way, Collision is just a really good vibe, even for a Saturday night. So check it out if you haven't. If you didn't watch Dynamite, don't even go to that. You can just check out Collision, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back on Wednesday with Dynamite. Bye.